Since boredom is one of the most common things us neurospicy folks are trying to avoid when we're procrastinating, today's mini experiments are going to focus on a menu of options for some boredom busters. Welcome to the Procrastination Unchallenge, where each day I give you a little mini experiment to try to shift your dynamics with procrastination. I'm Dr. Rebecca Block, neuroaffirming executive function coach, author, and researcher. So if you did day two's experiment and realized one of the main reasons you procrastinate is to avoid boredom, then having a range of strategies you can use to kind of help defeat that sense of boredom can make a big difference. Option one for today's mini experiment is the task bowl. This is where you get to make the process of initiating your tasks feel a bit more exciting because you've turned it into a kind of surprise game. So you take those things that are on your to-do list or your planner, your schedule, or whatever, anything that doesn't have a specific start time like a meeting. You put it on slips of paper, you fold them up, you drop them in a bowl. You also make sure to drop into the bowl some time-bound things that you really enjoy. So maybe it's to take a quick walk, to play with your dog, to play one round of a game on your phone. Be careful with that though, because if you have the tendency to get sucked in, maybe don't drop one of those activities in. Or watch one episode of a favorite show. Something so that when you are pulling things out of the bowl, there is part of you that's going, ooh, maybe I'm going to get the walk. Maybe I'm going to get the doodling time. And it increases that sense of excitement. And you then feel eager to do the thing that you just drew out of the bowl, even if it is the really boring thing, like clearing your email inbox, because you know when it's done, you get to draw something else out of that bowl and trigger that feeling of excitement again. Option two for today's mini experiment is some body doubling. So if you're not familiar with this, the idea is that you and someone else are each doing an activity at the same time. Doesn't mean you're doing the same activity together, but it also doesn't mean that you're just telling someone, I need to do this thing, please nag me about it, right? There's got to be that feeling of reciprocity for this to be effective as a boredom buster instead of creating that sense of, oh, I need to avoid somebody's judgment of me. You can do this a few different ways. If you are in a location where there are other people physically doing stuff, so for instance, if you're at home and you want to ask your partner, hey, I really don't want to fold the laundry. I know you don't want to do the bills. Like, can you be working on the bills next to me while I'm folding the laundry? And then we'll both get that thing done. So that's a great way of doing it. Another way is to do this online. So you can do this with a friend. You can do this with colleagues. You can do this with total strangers using something like Cave Day, where you go on and at the beginning of the time, you say, here's what I'm going to be doing this hour. Then you go on video and audio mute. You work on that thing, you come back at the end of the time, and you share what it was you got done. It creates that little sense of accountability, also of support, that helps move it away from boredom and into more of a community feeling. Option three is to pair the dreaded boring activity with something that helps get healthy levels of dopamine going in your system. So a great example of this is, let's go back to the inbox clearing. Say you've been avoiding going through and clearing out your inbox. If you decide, okay, after each email I deal with in my inbox, I'm going to jump up and do one lap around my room, or 2 jumping jacks, or a yoga pose, or some kind of movement activity that helps get my blood flowing a little bit, also helps get that little positive burst of healthy dopamine going through my system, and allows me to sit back down and do one more. This is a little bit different than just shrinking the size of the task, right? Just saying, oh, well, instead of clearing my whole inbox, I'll just do a couple items of my inbox. That can be really useful if you're dealing with overwhelm as well as boredom. But when boredom is the main thing, you need something that's actually about giving yourself that boost of energy and associating the dreaded task with that boost a little bit more. And so that's where having that alternation with something that does give you that boost can be helpful. Just be careful that you pick a healthy source, not an unhealthy one, like doom scrolling on your phone, which is likely to suck all of your attention and all of your energy and leave you where you don't have the ability to finish your desired task. Okay, so now you've got your menu of options for boredom busting today. Let me know which one you try and how it goes. In the meantime, I have my own tasks that I have been avoiding out of boredom, and I need to go jump on them.